Umpires Walsh and Howlett in control of this second Friday night match of the season. Umpire Walsh bounces the ball, and the Demons gain first possession and work it towards half forward. But the Kangaroos quickly out of trouble. That's Conley running onto it, but Arsieri for North Melbourne beats him and delivers beautifully for Harris. Just in front of him, Hughes, now Conley. Natural left footer, blind turns for the left foot, tackled high. And Chris Conley at half-back flank for the Demons to take the free kick in misty, smoggy conditions. A forecast of smog and fog for the morning, and we'll see that later on tonight. Crocker, the big fist from behind. Larkin, well done, well controlled. Big chance for North Melbourne through Holt. Damaging left footer, but this one falls short for the rough, tough Daniel Hughes.
And Daniel Hughes is one of Melbourne's on-field leaders. Great kick to Batterston. Batterston swamped immediately by Holmes. And a 15-metre penalty. Oh, now cut it out. Umpire said play on. Out it goes to the flank. Across it goes. The chances there for Stephen. Stretch it, bounced past him. Off the slippery turf. And it's out of bounds. Centre wing position, grandstand side.
How slippery is the turf?
Slippery.
Mossop against, Newport was there. Bit of jostling. Mossop gets the knock and gives the Kangas a big chance. Allison, their new player, son of former North Melbourne stalwart Tom Allison of the 60s. But Conley again in the back pocket. Gets his second kick and delivers beautifully for Newport. Ruck roving. Hand pass not so good for Giles. Now the Kangas through Spargo. Held when not in possession, quite palpably. Hand passed the ball out in front of himself. And takes the free. Hand pass to Crocker. To Harris. Hughes wearing him and thumping it over the line. Still no score. 2 minutes down. North Melbourne doing all the attacking.
Hughes from Port Adelaide, and Port Adelaide have turned out some staunch, redoubtable players. He's one of them, been a very fine player for the Demons. In front is Fairley. Kick is smothered from Viney. Nice spoil by Giles. Chance there for Arsieri. Kick off the ground by Wilson. Wilson picks up eventually. Tries it very short out to Melbourne's half-back flank, and it's over the line out of bounds as Alan Johnson goes crashing into the fence and trying to keep the ball in play, and North Melbourne doing all the attacking.
I'm sure they're a very revved up unit after last week's performance and some ordinary pre-season form, and they've got an axe to grind with Melbourne, who put them out of finals calculations. Well, the Demons working it to the centre again, but once again no further. Spalding, there's Flowers up at centre half forward. Ackley's lined up on him, and look at the courage diving onto the ball. Batterston out of full forward. Dean's up at full forward, but that's Williams in support, who was named in the key forward post. High tackle or holding the ball? Holding the ball is the call from the umpire, and John Mossop takes the free kick.
Tough on the full forwards there, Bernie Quinlan.
Yes, he did duck his head into that one, Doug.
Mossop to the centre of the ground looking for Fairley. Fairley in front, almost held a difficult one. Opportunity for Campbell. Campbell in lots of trouble, left foot to ball down towards the flank. Nice pick up and the cross to Healy's not good. Bailey's with the ball now, and Bailey sends it long towards the goal. Johnny Mossop, the only one there, and takes the mark.
Oh, what a shocking kick. I was about to say he was doing well in the opening moments. The only thing he didn't do was put it out on the full. Very poor disposal. 4 minutes down. Demons deep in attack. Spalding up against Mossop. And umpire Walsh calls for it. 30 metres from Melbourne's goal. And the Demons now with the scoring opportunity, but still no score after North monopolised the ball in the early moments. Healy through, but couldn't take it with him. Well played by North. Schimmelbusch eventually gets the clearing kick after Holmes' hand pass. And for the Demons, but Dean, great smothering though. Put the ball on the ground. Batterston well brought down. Giles. And finally a ball up, still on Melbourne's half-forward line.
North Melbourne applying a lot more pressure than they did last week against the Bears.
Yes, I guess they've come out desperately keen after a very poor performance last Friday night. Moss above his opponent Turner. Chance for Wilson. Wilson's kick is off the side of the boot and lands just in play for Melbourne. Over the line, out of bounds, half-forward flank in front of the members.
0 plays 0 after 5 minutes. In this modern, very high-scoring game. Spalding doing the ruck work in Moore's absence. Got it down, but straight to Crocker, who kicks to space. Fumble by Campbell. Support from Grinter. But Larkin for North Melbourne to Steele. Well played, Steele, to keep it in front of him. An awkwardly spinning ball. Arsiri. Clever left foot pass to Schimmelbusch. This could set it up. Inside 50 metres. Long shot from the skipper. Just offline. First score of the match is a behind to North Melbourne. And it took 6 minutes to come.
Dazzling play by Arsiri that time with a perfect pass. Hughes kicks out wide. Fairley's there. Turner marked it. Very well done. Ted Turner, who's carried the brunt of the ruck work for Melbourne. Not looking a big ruckman, or he's not a big ruckman, but done it very well last week. Here comes Demetrio. Demetrio centre wing. Sends it long downfield. In front, the mark was almost taken for Melbourne there by Turner. Chance for Cracker. Free kick might have gone against you, Phil Cracker. Johnson saying no, it should have been mine, but it is Phil Cracker. And Phil Cracker's about 55 metres out. Kicks it perfectly as usual. Picked up by Allison. Allison very long downfield. Harris goes up and takes a beauty. Got a lovely spring, has Darren Harris. He's now on a very, very awkward angle. Only about 10 or 15 metres out from goal, but parked right there against the fence. Tries a short one to Phil Cracker and did it well. Did it very well, and John Northey will be very annoyed with that, because if ever there is one player on this side that you don't give an inch, his name is Philip Cracker. The genius from Perth, number 8, virtually couldn't miss this one. But very intelligent play by Harris. The tall man kicked so well with that short pass. And also a splendid mark just prior to it when he had too much spring for Danny Hughes. North Melbourne have kicked one behind. Melbourne haven't scored. Phil Cracker left foot straight through the centre. And North Melbourne 1-1. And the Demons yet to score.
Yes, poor defensive work there by the Demons. If anyone should be watched, it's certainly Phil Cracker, and whoever was his man there who should have been picking him up.
Looks like Stretch who's got the job.
Yeah, it is. It's Stretch on him, so Stretch will have to watch him closely.
Cracker in after missing last week. Unfortunately, North losing Jim for tonight through suspension, and he'll miss next week as well against Fitzroy. So 8 minutes into the first quarter, the Roos with the first goal gain a 7-point lead. Played by the Demons, and the long kick from Grinter to full forward could go all the way. Ross Smith takes it through for a behind. Melbourne's first score, and that took 8.5 minutes, and the margin is the one straight kick.
And that was a lightning hand pass from Viney, who got that ball out. Wilson's there. Too much spring did Crocker have. Nice play, Wilson. Dodges and balks, and a beautiful hand pass. Alan Johnson shoots for goal, but off direction and through for one behind. Ever so close. Johnson, Melbourne's best player last week, and been a star since he came across as a draft choice from Perth.
Yeah, very handy player, Johnson, but that was probably indicative of the pressure that North Melbourne has been applying to the Melbourne forwards, because Johnson probably had a little bit more time than he expected.
Stevenson puts it back into play. Melbourne through Flower, not such a good kick. Spalding from behind, Stevenson at the back. Dwyer kicks into open territory. 44 is Holmes. Takes it from Bailey too easily. Poor kick though, very high. Oh, great leap, Campbell. Giles and Holt. Throw in between Wing and North Melbourne's half-forward flank.
Well, Tony Campbell really was a mammoth leap that time. Young man from Camberwell Grammar, where Brent Croswell's a master. He might have been teaching him some of that. Up goes Turner from behind, out towards the boundary line. It's over the line, out of bounds again. Half-forward flank with North Melbourne in attack and leading 1-1 to Melbourne's 2 behind.
The Gabardine coats come out, Doug, I think.
And come the ruckman once again, down from Turner. Campbell can't take it. Batterston smothered. Opportunity for a hand pass goes out past Spargo. Giles dives on it, in lots of trouble, crawls after it. Kicked off the ground. Leading is Phil Cracker. Down goes a Melbourne player, no free kick. Phil Cracker will turn and twist out of trouble. Look at him go, and he's caught. Well tackled, Melbourne. Nice play, Allison. Allison can't pick it up. Out to the flank it goes, and down from Johnson. Look out, Wilson, you're in trouble. And down he goes from very vigorous play from Ackley, and Wilson's in trouble. Picked up by Alan Johnson. The umpire's whistle has gone, and the free kick goes to Wilson at centre wing position.
He was in trouble all the way there, Wilson, but he showed great courage to continue after the ball.
He looks as though he could be in for a good season, and so could this man. The champion, Robert Flower, one of the greats. Good spoil from Smith. Williams, well done. Contesting well for the Demons. Stevenson, pressure from Spalding. And now a throw in. The Demons well in attack, trailing by 5 points. And it looks as though this is going to be quite a contest and an anxious night for the coaches.
Yes, that was John Northey and Shane Zantock. Mussop very well done, nicely intercepted by the Demons. Dwyer kicks it out short. Robert Flower weaving his way out of trouble. A beautiful kick towards Spalding. Spalding goes down. In comes skipper Schimmelbusch and sockers it towards the boundary line and takes it over the line out of bounds.
Schimmer might just have had the manoeuvrability 3 or 4 years ago to make something of that, because he did have a bit of room. Spalding from behind, trying to use spring against Mossop. Siri, centering kick. Demetrio back in the side after missing last week. Wilson out in front of Giles. Now Flower, who's in everything. Bailey forward of the centre. Oh, is it a mark? Not quite. By Dean, and North out of trouble. Steele to Mossop, to space, but Flower again, he's covering hectares. Good tackle, Spargo. Larkin, Dwyer. North Melbourne mounting the attack. He's in the attacking half. Nice one to Holt, who knows how to use the ball. Long. Cracker. Well done, Stretch. Cracker still there. He's got 3 to beat, but he could be the man to do it. And well played by the North Melbourne forwards to bottle it and keep it in scoring territory.
Yes, Melbourne didn't seem to use the numbers advantage they had that time. They fumbled and fooled around when they should have got away with that ball. 3-1 it was against at one stage. On the bounce, it's Fairley. Out it goes to Arsiri. Arsiri's got 2-1 against him. It's dumped to the ground with a good tackle by Turner. Arsiri still fights for it. Umpire finds a free kick. And it's going to go to Arsiri. Gallant and a small player. About 60 metres, 55 metres out from goal. Downfield it goes. Yours, Giles. Takes it on his chest.
Hughes. Giles wearing the crew cut this year. Yep. As Hughes goes to half back for Johnson. Well delivered. Allison might just be pulled back. Not reported. Interesting to note, he did sling him to the ground after he'd marked. Spalding, good fist on, very intelligent. Now Healy on the cricket pitch area. That's the practice wicket area out on the half-forward flank. Lovely centering kick. Flower waiting for the crumbs. Ball up, umpire Howlett, perhaps early with the whistle. I think that was open enough to perhaps allow to go on. Melbourne may have had a scoring chance. Flower, a tremendous opening in the first half of this quarter.
Right in the teeth of Melbourne's goal is the bounce. Mossop doing well on the ball. Stevenson tries to come through with it. Steele, Smith, it's nice. Steele it is. Down towards the centre of the ground. Out comes Giles this time. Almost took a good one. On the flank it goes back towards where the hand pass comes out to Holmes. Holmes will give it long down towards the half-forward flank. In comes Connolly on Arsiri, having lots to handle there. And there's an ugly-looking pack with John Holt underneath it all. Rob Flower getting his hand bandaged as the umpire comes in to bounce.
Yes, neither side can really break away at this stage of the game, and it's indicative of the pressure that's being applied by both sides.
Batterston Grinter. Scrambled kick. Mossop, the big man, does it well. Steele. Allison the fumbler. Johnson the swooper. Great hand pass. Except for the fact that Crocker was bearing down. Steele. Schimmelbusch, ever robust and determined. And away goes the North Melbourne skipper in inspiring fashion. Through the fingers of Harris. Oh, Cracker, great knock on. Holt with the wrong boot, missed a sitter. Great on the left foot, not so good on the right, but what about the genius of Cracker? That palm on almost too quick for the eye to see.
Chris Connolly will give it to Giles. Harris comes late on the scene. Peter Giles has played over 112th game today it is for Melbourne. He's been a wonderful clubman, playing from Sandringham. Downfield it goes, Grinter in front. Dwyer outpoints him. Held it long enough was the umpire's verdict. And Grinter, who loves to leap high, misjudged that one very badly. Chance now for Fairley, and easily taken. In perfect position he was. Made it a bit difficult by taking 2 bites at it. And he'll be about, no, 15-metre penalty, and brings him right down within kicking range. He was on the 50-metre mark, and my word, it's a long 15 metres, incidentally. So the man on the mark is only about 30 metres out from goal. That's Brett Bailey there. Fairley kicks for goal, and it was a very good one. It's through, and North Melbourne 2-2, and Melbourne 2 behinds at the 8-minute mark in the first term.
And they've opened a lot more impressively than they did last week against the Bears, where they seem to be all at sea. But this week they've seemed to have got their running game together. They've got their numbers to the ball and are moving the ball very well into their forward line.
And I think that man, John Kennedy, on the right, might well have had a bit to do with it. I'm sure there would have been some stern words spoken between last Friday night and now. And Northey, with his worries in the early part, North 2-goal leaders after 17 minutes. Pleasant night, although a fog is fast descending on Melbourne. Mossop the big thump. Bad bounce for Campbell. Holt doing well. Air shot by Johnson. And a ball up. North gaining about 10 metres from the centre circle since the bounce to restart play. Umpire Howlett with it. North 2-2, Melbourne 2 behinds.
And Fairley at centre-half forward adds a bit of height that North didn't have last week. Well taken by Spalding, doesn't hand pass it very well. Wilson again, downfield it goes, bounces past Spalding. Robbie Flower in the front, comes out brilliantly, beats a paddock full, hand passes across, and not a good hand pass after that. Brilliant play, and they're in trouble, the Demons now. Should have been picked up there by Schimmelbusch. Well picked up, I think, by Dean, and puts it through. Viney, number 12, Todd Viney, who's played very close, picks up in Melbourne's first goal, and it was really a struggling goal, Bernie Quinlan.
And weren't they lucky to get away with that, Doug, because Robert Flower did all the hard work. Gee, he's got some great skills, but his handball really let him down. But
of all people, a fumble from Schimmelbusch. Let them in, there it is.
Schimmelbusch, he was away before he had it. Picked up by Viney. Lovely snap at goal, and that's one that they can think themselves very lucky to have.
So, the lead cut to a goal at the 18-minute mark. Push in the back, no doubt about that. And Greg Healy still with the Demons after it seemed that he might become a Blue in the early part of the off-season. Good delivery. Williams couldn't ask for it better than that. He only had half a metre on his fullback, but the ball delivered with precision. That not so good, and Schimmelbusch, well, they say everyone makes mistakes, but champions don't make the same one twice. And Schimmelbusch making sure that he didn't fumble a second time in game number 299.
That's his 4th kick. Over the back it goes, an opportunity for Dwyer. Wilson doing brilliantly after a heavy knock. Out to Healy. Healy back across looking for Johnson. Johnson running with the flight of the ball with Allison's first game. Allison very clever to Larkin. Larkin down towards Arceri. Over the top went Connolly, and here comes Peter Giles to help out. Giles and Hughes. Giles takes it. Giles then steadies and kicks it back towards centre wing. Larkin and Bailey. Bailey should have taken it. Johnson, a good punch downfield. Mossop has the opportunity. Jamie Stevenson beside him. Mossop to Stevenson was well done. He gets his left foot, covers no distance. Connolly now, long left footer looking for Spalding. Spalding over the back, and Crocker's his opponent. Lucky for Spalding, sends a left footer out wide, and it's Williams in front. Williams and Flower shepherds brilliantly. Williams to an open goal from the angle. Shoots for goal and misses.
Clever play again there by Robbie Flower. He gave a great shepherd to Williams and gave him that extra couple of metres that he really needed to swing around onto his left foot.
Ackley's got the job on Flower, and Flower is taking him apart. Good penetrating kick into play, but Mossop missed an easy one there. The hands look very soft. And a ball up between centre and centre half forward for Melbourne. The Demons striking back in the last 5 minutes or so. And really nothing in the match in the first 20 minutes. Turner against Mossop. Mossop 1 to Demetriou. It's Grinter in 14, but Larkin first there for North Melbourne. Throw in on true centre wing over on the southern side in front of the outer, which has gathered a few more people in the last 10 or 15 minutes. Perhaps people coming in after the match has started. Williams, Wilson rather, tremendously determined and robust there, and gaining about 35 metres from Melbourne, and good to see him looking so desperate about it, Doug.
Yes, it's oft forgotten how superbly courageous Brian Wilson is. He's taken a couple of risks tonight, risk of body, but he never flinches. Long kick downfield there from Holmes, from Allison. Out wide it goes, a chance for Bailey. Bailey's well shepherded by Grinter. Better hurry. Kicks it downfield. Connolly's out there on the flank, over the back and almost took it. To the ground it comes. Nicely picked up and left-footed downfield and coming in strongly. And the mark is taken by Melbourne's best and fairest of last season in Healy. Healy downfield. Ackley and Flower again. Flower! Play on, says the umpire. Could have been played, that one. Over the back it goes. Flower's chance, and he's buffeted around. He cannot break away. Picked up eventually by Johnson. Johnson shoots a beautiful snap for goal.
Beautiful goal, Johnson. Yeah, I think the umpire called it right in the first place when he didn't allow that mark to Flower, even though the umpire didn't seem to be in the best position to pick it. But in the end, it turned out all right for Melbourne with a great goal by Johnson.
Here it is now, Bernie.
Yeah, here we see it again. North Melbourne messing around with it a bit there. Out to Flower, scrambling play. Johnson waiting there, made the most of his opportunity. Wasn't an easy shot for goal, but he made the most of it. Probably a 40-45 metre snap. Great goal to Johnson.
And here go the Demons again, and again it's Brian Wilson. Healy, but held out of position. Williams, just offline. He's missed a couple. And had he been a bit steadier there, he might well have goaled. So Melbourne in front now by 2 points, and really looking infinitely better in the last 7 or 8 minutes than they did in the first half of the quarter.
Williams has been very lively. Ackley now kicks out wide. In front is Crocker. Missed what he should have taken. Good running there by Dwyer. Out to Demetriou. Demetriou hit to the boundary line, trying to find his teammate, but missed him badly. It's out of bounds. Melbourne in attack on the outer half forward flank. Just
wondering how long Ackley will have the job on Flower, who really has been devastating up forward. Spalding the knock, but Crocker the shark, and Demetriou receiving the hand pass. Giles from behind Spargo. Holt again, picking up plenty of kicks. It's a beauty. Offline. North's third behind, and the margin is 1 point.
Well, if left footers are good kicks, they really are splendid kicks, and John Holt is one of them. He's a magnificent raking left foot kick. Hughes kicks out wide. Holt and Grinter. Holt got there first. Unlucky one there, but back it comes towards Dwyer. Dwyer left foots it very well and centres it. And well played. I play the mark. Play the mark to Fairley, or Mossop. Play the mark. He was just too big and too strong. There's well over about 97 kilograms of sinewy strength there, and he had too much power for Hughes. And a very good kick, and that's his sixth possession in a very, very good first quarter from John Mossop, the ex-Geelong champion, who was the best and fairest winner for them a couple of years ago.
Touch of nostalgia there too, I think we might see in the lead-up, with two sons of former North Melbourne players of the 60s. Allison, there he is, number 33, getting it to Dwyer. Unfortunately, we won't see it, and that's how the goal came about. Good mark, of course, too.
Yes, Mossop's a big boy, of course, and he used his body really well. Danny Hughes was out of position, and Mossop made the most of it with his strength.
So North back in front, seconds away from time on in the first term. this could really be a match, I think, as the Roos get it out of the centre. Giles having his work cut out in defence, but good shepherd that time from Grinter. And Demons there in numbers on the wing. Viney, Connolly, beyond half forward. Williams trying to outmark his opponent Smith from behind. And Smith, with good position and good hands, took it well.
Williams took 10 marks last week, which is an incredible display, but not tonight yet. Up goes Giles above. Well roved Allison out towards the flank looking for Holt. Grinter's there pursuing him, and the ball slithers over the line. Out of bounds on North Melbourne's half-forward flank. Grandstand side, scoreboard North Melbourne 3-3 to Melbourne 2-4.
And Allison, in his debut, looking very skilled and accomplished. 6 possessions already. We're in time on. Turner up from behind. Larkin looked for the free and got it. Well, that's what comes of getting your body into position. He was over the ball, and the Melbourne players and the umpire obliged. Bit of a nudge, then the whistle. But I don't know whether that would have been paid in the first quarter last week, Bernie, when they were...
Last week? No, you just had to have your head pulled off before you did get a free kick last week.
Well within range, but he's hooked it. North Melbourne's 4th behind, and the margin 1 straight kick at the 26.5-minute mark of the first term.
What a big difference John Mossop has made winning on the ball. He played so poorly last week, but he's been easily the best in the on-ball contests up to date. Danny Hughes taking a long while to make up his mind. Then he's kicking, looking for Wilson. Wilson goes very wide, but not fairly. Should have held that one. Picked up by Larkin. Lightning stuff to Demetrio. Demetrio very clever to Fairley. Fairley kicks one and just misses. Bad luck. Beautiful cooperative teamwork there between North Melbourne. Fairley just missed the shot for goal.
Yeah, very promising move by North Melbourne. It's just a pity that they haven't kicked a lot straighter, because they have looked a lot better than they did last week.
Hughes playing on. Gains about 7 or 8 metres and kicks well to Wilson. Demetriou in front of him. Siri. Cracker not flying. He probably should have done there, although he looked to see if there was somebody in support. Conley out to the wing. And the Demons through the Western Australian ruckman Turner. Now Wilson between wing and half-forward flank, and the 15-metre penalty dished out by umpire Howlett brings him to true half-forward. Good delivery. Williams again, giving Smith the slip. And David Williams, who's had about 3 shots on goal already, without success from just outside 50 metres. Good kick. A beauty. Fine kick that. And the Demons back to within a point at the 28-minute mark of the first term.
Yes, magnificent kick there by Williams. He's been a very busy player. He doesn't... What height is he? He's only 183 centimetres, but he's been on the move all night and creating a lot of opportunities up there on the Melbourne forward line.
What a super kick from Brian Wilson in the past too, Bernie. You'd love to lead with that sort of stuff, wouldn't you?
Yes, he's always looking for someone, Wilson.
Yeah, he's a lovely kick. Lovely short kick. He's not long, but here's Harris on the ball. Picked up and driven downfield from Melbourne, this time by Connolly. In the Williams again, almost took one. Nice strong play by Ackley. Chance for Flower. There goes the siren. And what a brilliant term it was for Robert Flower. North Melbourne 3-5. 23 points, are leading Melbourne 3-4-22.
MCG as we go into the second quarter. North Melbourne this time going from left to right and leading by 1 point. Mossop beats Spalding and Demetrio gets the first kick of the quarter. Oh, well taken. Great mark by Fairley, who really has added some marking power up forward. Harris, good spoil Hughes, and a good recover. Out to the wing, well placed too for Turner if he's got the pace. Mossop bearing down, the 2 big men, and Turner with a bit of mobility. Crocker in front. And eventually diving on the ball was Steele, and a ball up forced. Half forward for Melbourne.
Crocker's been very conspicuous. He's practically kept Spalding kickless, I'd suggest, and it's been a brilliant display at centre-half back. Mossop been a good one too. Spalding went against him. Steele does it nicely. To the ground he goes. Here comes the brilliant Johnson. Gets his foot to the ball and boots it down looking for Flower. Ackley's with him all the way. Picked up nicely by Smith. Smith down towards centre wing and well done in front. Taken by Wilson, whose 11th possession is coming up.
Looking very lean and fit. Apparently he's taken to the Pritikin diet and really showing it in the face. But no doubt still pumping weights and keeping himself very strong. Lovely delivery. And finding Dean just outside 50 metres and on the boundary line, so a tough shot. Williams looking for the opportunity to lead, but well covered by Ross Smith. Dean kicking high and fisted through by the North defence to level the scores. Approaching the 2-minute mark of the second term, 23 points apiece.
It was Darren Crocker's fisted that too. He's got a wonderful spring. Here he is again competing with Spalding. Could have taken a free kick that time too. Plays on and will eventually take the free kick. A young man of enormous promise and great ability, and could be a North Melbourne champion of next year or so. Sends it bound towards centre-half forward, looking for Fairley. High above him was Campbell. Turner well done. Lots of trouble, but gets out of it well. Out wide it goes to the half-back flank and the left foot down towards centre wing position, where the opportunity here's for Bailey. Bailey's 2-1 against him, and the kick was kicked downfield by Grinter to Bailey, but Bailey didn't have the pace to break away. It's out of bounds.
Under the lights and stars at the MCG, the scores are level. Spalding against Mossop, lots of body work, no aerial skills. Free kick to Holmes, manhandled, not in possession. On the half-back flank for the Kangaroos. Has to wait for Schimmelbusch to get the ball to him because no Melbourne man was going to pick it up. That's fair enough. That's the way it's played. Steele, good battler last week and doing well again this week. Push in the back on Arsieri, who had front position and was given a little nudge. He's too far out to score. Goes for Phil Cracker. Good spoil by Stretch. Not that overhead marking is one of Phil Cracker's great skills, but the delivery was good. And Cracker looked a chance to take the mark.
Yeah, Stretch has done his job very, very well. Fairly battles with Campbell. Well played Holt. Onto his left foot. There's only one person at home, and that's a Demon. And underneath it, Daniel Hughes. Hughes across cleverly to Giles. Giles looks downfield to give it to Johnson or Stretch. Johnson's going to do the shepherding, and Stretch gets a perfect bounce and goes racing downfield. Then kicks it long, looking for Robert Flower. He's behind when he should have been in front. Ackley crawls after it. Batterston very cleverly across to Viney. Viney downfield looking for Spalding. Spalding's in lots of trouble. Tackled when not in possession at that stage by Crocker. And the umpire comes in and indicates that he'll bounce.
May have been a little unlucky not to get the free there, Spalding, although the umpire may have judged him to be over the ball.
Well, there wasn't really a ball up on, was there? There was no great congestion. I think the umpire perhaps realised he'd missed a free kick, then blew the whistle and thought, well, I can't pay it now. Push in the back, and it's free to Flower. Perhaps a bit of evener upper about it, although there might have been a slight nudge there. Flower has been in brilliant form since the pre-season matches got underway, and he's carried it into tonight. He's been superb. Inside 50 metres, he's having a shot. Not a bad try. The Demons second behind in 5 minutes in this quarter. The only scores of the term and enough to put them in front by a point.
As Stevenson kicks out, Wilson's the leaper in front. Well roved Demetrio. Demetrio about centre-half back. Sends North into attack downfield. Oh, nice play, Connolly. I thought he'd held it. Now it's taken away from him. Well played Fairley. Grinter's with the ball now. Got time. Doesn't do it all that well, but it bounces well for Connolly. Connolly down towards centre-half forward. And nice play in front, North Melbourne. Smith once again.
Great struggle this match so far. Schimmelbusch to half forward. 2-on-1 in Melbourne's favour, but Fairley is doing a stout job at half forward. Lovely delivery with the left boot under pressure. Oh, that was accidental. I don't think there was any malice. But still 15 metres. Holmes unhurt. Plays on. Comes unstuck. No, it doesn't. Demetriou. Cracker outmanned. and outreached. But it didn't really matter because the ball was going to carry through for a behind. Scores level, 6 minutes down, second quarter.
Hughes kicks it very wide, and it's well kicked too to stretch. That is beautifully done. He then left foots it down, not well done. Not well done. Straight to Fairley, who's having a good second quarter. Downfield, John Mossop from behind. Touch, there's Fairley, there's Arsieri. A lovely smother. Downfield, it comes to centre wing. Over the back at Schimmelbusch. Schimmelbusch in trouble. Chance there for a pick-up by Viney and a bad hand pass. They're going to get out of it via Bailey. Bailey tackled by Larkin, beats him. Bailey then kicks it downfield towards the pocket, and Robert Flower overruns the ball, and the pack fall on top of it. Umpire, I think, will come in and bounce it.
You read it beautifully there off the pack, Robbie Flower. He's just unlucky that the North Melbourne player was able to get his hand to it and stop him at the last moment.
Demons deep in attack, and North considering deep enough to just go for the safety of the line for a behind. 6 goals, 13 kicked in the match so far. As Stevenson at the 7-minute mark puts it back into play for North. Little nudge. North Melbourne free kick to Dwyer.
Bit of Tiggy Touchwood stuff there, don't you think, Tim?
Yes, I do, and I think North coming off a little bit better, and I think a few Demon supporters agree because they're starting to make a bit of a hullabaloo over it. Demetriou over the line, and it's unusual, Bernie. North Melbourne 9 free kicks and Melbourne 4. It's just so different from last week.
Yeah, completely opposite to what they were doing last week. The umpires have completely changed their way of thinking.
Mossop front position. Turner did it pretty well. Oh, Dwyer, lovely football. Must take a free kick, but very dashing football by David Dwyer. Wonderful anticipation too. Free is to him. Short pass is excellent. Out to the flank it goes to the long kicking John Holt. Holt is a good 70 metres from goal. Tries a pass across towards Harris. Intercepted nicely in front. Was taken by Bailey. Bailey out to Giles. Giles is going to give it to Johnson. Johnson running away from Allison. And he fumbles badly. Allison had a pretty good first quarter. Hand pass comes across to Steele. Steele steadies and sends it long downfield. All Melbourne. And the mark is easily taken by Turner.
Umpire Howlett calls play on as Turner is anxious to take off. Greg Healy all pushed in the back, and that's just about worth a free.
Yes,
and in fact he pays it. The ball might have been over the line, but Larkin crashed into Healy's back. Close to the fence, they can be a little dangerous. It wasn't malicious, but the free was on. Wilson really looking good, and he looks as though he means business. Connolly onto his natural boot, the left. Good looking delivery. Stevenson really playing close at fullback against Dean. Good tackle by Stevenson, bringing down Stretch, forcing the ball up. And it's a very exciting contest, Bernie. Not a lot of goals and perhaps not a lot of great finishing, but tremendous battle.
Yeah, it's been a very tight game up to this stage, and neither side can really gain the ascendancy.
Yes, wonderful man-to-man football. Newport got that ball down, taken by Mossop. Mossop hand passes out. From the half-back line, it goes right downfield. In comes Demetriou, a wonderful spoil. Well played by Newport this time. Then lost it as he beat Schimmelbusch. And diving on top of Arsieri, picked up by Dwyer. Out to the captain. Game number 299 to Wayne Schimmelbusch. Long downfield. Hughes and Harris. Harris punches it over the back cleverly. Down go Melbourne. Cracker brother, Phil Cracker's there. Over the top went Batterston. An opportunity for a pick up there by Spargo. Spargo out to Larkin. Larkin shoots for goal and misses. Well, it's on all the time. It's really intense football.
3-7 apiece. Hughes. Good kick out to the face of the members. Turner down and gets the free kick. Plenty of jostling between him and Mossop doing it illegally in the umpire's opinion. Spalding, well taken and running on well, but not kicking so well, although the umpire intervenes, pulls out the notebook, falls over and is going to report Greg Healy.
Well, really went into Shepherd very strongly. I think he may have had his arm raised. It's just a matter of whether he made contact to Crocker's face or not, and it looks like he has, according to the umpire.
Umpire Walsh so excited about that one that he came in at full bore and then tried to stop, and the tread marks on the boots weren't strong enough to bring him to a clean halt. Finished up on the seat of his pants, and Darren Crocker comes out of it all with a free kick. North Melbourne would have got one anyway because the ball had been put out on the full by Spalding, but as it is, with two 15-metre penalties and a report, it's a mini disaster for Melbourne.
Crocker kicks it very well down to the centre half forward post, looking for Mossop. Mossop forced to punch out wide. Great opportunity for Arceri, perfect pickup, great smother, wonderful smother by Johnson, an inspiration to his team always. It's out of bounds, North Melbourne's half forward flank.
And scoring proving a very difficult proposition. 12 minutes down in this quarter. The Kangaroos have scored 2 behinds, the Demons 3, not a goal. Well roved by Rod Grinter. Long wobbling punt kick is a beauty. Bad miss by Williams. Nice and mobile at ground level, but well tackled by Smith. Ackley goes the long way, out of it nicely. But Bailey in the way between centre and half forward lines. The Beetle runs on, well placed. Wilson, beautifully placed kick in fact from Bailey. Now Wilson gets a lead and delivers to Viney, it is, on the half forward flank within 45 metres. Very solidly built recruit from Sturt. Kicked a good goal in the first quarter, but hasn't done much else. And he's missed that one. 2 goals in this match would have been a very valuable contribution at this stage, with only 6 on the board, but he certainly didn't get that one right. Fairly poor kick.
He's got a pretty big assignment. His job is to shadow the captain, Wayne Schimmelbusch. Out wide, oh, good leap in front. Might have been allowed to Melbourne. Bailey, well shepherded. Bailey better hurry. Across it goes. The mark's not on. And I'm afraid that the Melbourne player will be penalised, because at no stage did Turner have that mark, but the umpire says it was held to him and he intends to bounce it about the centre half forward area for Melbourne.
Just giving the benefit of the doubt, I think. Steele, pulled below the knee, takes a free kick, and Greg Healy in the wars in the last 5 minutes, had his number taken, had the ball in and had an air swing, and then gave away a free. Dwyer missing a sitter. Wilson, tremendous endeavour. Oh, and presence of mind with great delivery. And now Greg Healy, the chance to atone. Lovely hand pass. Viney. Newport, swinging left footer is a good one. Stevenson takes it through, and who could blame him under that pressure?
The man showing the way at the moment for Melbourne is Brian Wilson in the middle with 13 possessions into this, even at this stage at the 8-minute mark of the second quarter. And he's really back to his Brownlow form.
Yes, and not one of them wasted. Out wide it goes from Stevenson. In front was Crocker, who's been an excellent player, and here he's in it again. Out to Holmes in a flash. On wide it goes towards Allison, having a good debut. Allison about centre wing position, kicks it beautifully to Fairley. Fairley's well spoilt by Campbell. Chance for Fairley once again, left foots it downfield, out towards the pocket, and running with the flight of the ball was Connolly. Phil Cracker hooks it out one hand, in comes Hughes to dive on it and hit it over the line out of bounds, no doubt on purpose. Did he have another alternative? The umpire said he should not have done same, and the free kick is paid to North Melbourne. What did you think of that free kick, Bernie?
Definitely deliberate, Doug, definitely, no doubt about it. The umpire made the right decision.
Any other options?
I think he just made it a little bit too obvious, Doug.
Well, the free kick is, I think, to Arceri there in the pocket. Wonderful little player. He's only about 10 or 15 metres out, makes, comes around on the angle, hooks it across, but doesn't do it well. Out of bounds on the full, and the Demon supporters say justice has been done. Off goes the play.
No time wasted as Melbourne quickly transfer it to the wing. Demetriou, Schimmelbusch, Dwyer from 4 to the centre. Good looking kick. Just carrying and well taken by Fairley. 4 marks. He's really transformed them up forward, having a shot from inside 50 metres. He's kicked almost 70 goals in his career, and that was a good kick, but just offline. And now it's North's chance to do the attacking and keep on missing the target. In this quarter, still not a goal. The Roos have kicked 3 behinds, the Demons 5.
Out wide, Connolly's the target. Connolly almost took it, should have really held it. Holmes swamped. Connolly again, back towards centre wing. Well gathered by Dean, but he's had a quiet day. Well played. Beautiful turn away from Stevenson. Dean kicks across looking for Wilson. Wilson's got 2-1 against him, but he's leading. Brian Wilson, a lovely bounce. Turns and twists. Hooks it very cleverly back. And comes Bailey. Bailey long. Robbie Flower from behind. And it's a beauty. It's a beauty. It was his all the way, but didn't he make the best of it? 256 league games. 2 to go to break Brian Dixon's, or to equal Brian Dixon's record. This is his 6th possession.
And look at that response from the Demon supporters. They just delighted in the majesty of Flower then.
Robert Flower now, very difficult angle, but if ever a mark deserved a goal, that was one of them, only about 20 metres out. Kicks for goal and puts it through. And once again, he has presented us with a memorable moment as Robert Flower.
Yes, they absolutely love him, the Melbourne crowd, and no wonder. Bailey wasn't too happy with himself when he played on and miskicked it, but he miskicked it to the right man in Robbie Flower. He judged it perfectly. Took a great second grabber there, and yeah, he absolutely thrills the crowd, Robbie Flower.
Tough one for Ackley, caught right under the ball, and if ever a man had to sit, Flower had it then. So the Demons get their best break. Just 7 points though, 18 minutes into the quarter. Now North's turn. Mossop. Arsieri, quick hand pass to Holt. Not good delivery then though. Out of bounds is John Law, who had a bad night last Friday, prepares to come into the fray. A hardened veteran, and I'm sure he's all revved up to do a lot better when he gets his chance in a moment.
Once again, Arsieri saying what a magnificent ball handler is. He never takes a second bite at it. Here's a chance now for diving on it was Bailey. Turner fights for it, doesn't gain much. Left-footed by Grinter. Awkward, look out, here comes Allison again. A very awkward shot for goal, but off direction with his left foot. Through for 1 behind. And North Melbourne just squandering them a little at this stage. They're 3-9 and Melbourne are 4-9 at the 18.5-minute mark of the second term.
Hughes quick to get it into play, and the Demons throw in, appeal for a in the back by Connolly, not paid. It's between wing and North's half-forward flank. Mossop, nice ruck work and good knock-on from Steele. Hughes to the centre of the ground. Schimmelbusch and Crocker, well controlled. And a big chance as Law gets his chance. Demetriou pushed in the back by Spalding. Oh, that was very poor tackling. And he and Healy might argue, but I think from our vantage point, there wasn't too much doubt at all.
It was absolutely stupid too, Tim, wasn't it? Yeah. He could have grabbed him and tackled him. No, it was a silly tackle.
There was no doubt about that one. It was a very crude tackle by Spalding, and look where he gave the free kick away to, about 45 metres out from goal.
Demetriou won't quite make it. Touch through. North's 10th behind, and the margin 5 points in Melbourne's favour.
Well, it's not a big crowd, but it's football as we love to see it played. Here's a long, wide lead by Stretch, but behind it's well taken, Connolly. Here comes Stretch racing downfield, drives it out to Viney. Schimmelbusch is with him. It's man-to-man there with Viney's job to watch Schimmelbusch. Viney then sends it down towards the forward pocket. Underneath it, a splendid catch. A splendid catch by Williams, who took 10 marks last week. And you can see how he does it. As Bernie said earlier, he's only a 6-footer, that's 183 centimetres. But when those those vice-like hands get onto it, he really can hold the ball. And that was a very, very strong mark. He's kicked one, is David Williams from Rochester. Very awkward angle, comes in and shoots for goal and kicks it across the face of goal through for one behind. 1-2 from the boot of Williams.
And 7:20 amassed by the teams. Very inaccurate kicking. Perhaps it's a little slippery now. I think close-ups the ball has looked as though it might be just a little wet. Spalding from behind, almost a splendid mark. Allison. Bailey first there. Now Healy. Nicely done to Johnston, having a quiet quarter. Viney. Healy lines them up. Just misses. And it's the Demons by 7 points, and that major target is just proving so elusive.
And just a foot lower, and it would have been in the hands of Robert Flower, that one of Healy's too. Jamie Stevenson kicks out wide. In front, Ted Turner. Couldn't hold it. Very slippery now. Kicked off the ground by Batterston. Batterston out to the boundary line. It goes over the line, out of bounds. Melbourne in attack on the half-forward flank.
And McRae, number 19, coming into the action for North Melbourne, so the Roos have made a couple of changes. 22 minutes into the second quarter. Melbourne by 7 points. Holmes. Demetriou. Grinter in the way. Connolly. Good knock on by Spalding. Didn't quite come off for him. Ackley hasn't had too many kicks. He's had it pretty tough against Flower. 2 kicks only, in fact. Bailey. Was he held? No, he wasn't. McRae gets it to Allison. Free running left footer. Larkin. Well done. Demetriou now. Inside 50. Holt wants to get balanced on the left. Can't. A swinger with the right. A beauty. Just beat the outstretched defender's fingers. And John Holt, who sometimes looks very awkward when he's trapped on his wrong boot, showed great composure then. And after a long drought, gets North Melbourne's 4th goal and cuts the margin to a point.
Yes, good running play there by North Melbourne. Finally into Demetriou over to Holt. He looked a lot more confident than he did earlier when he kicked on his right foot. And he made no mistake from about 45 metres out.
And Stephen stretched just within an inch or two of it, and he pushed Phil Cracker out just ever so lightly before he jumped, but he didn't get it there. Up goes Turner and Mossop. Scuffle in the centre of the ground. Bad luck, Holmes. Well played, Arceri. He's a good one. A big leap by Danny Hughes. In front, Giles misses the greasy ball. Out to Campbell, who tries to kick off the ground and misses. Picked up, and Johnny Law will take a free kick. He was legged against Campbell. And Law, this tough man from Strathbogie,
has kicked 6 goals in 162 matches.
He's now kicked 7. He's now kicked 7, and this gallant man, who's got a heart as big as his frame, will be absolutely delighted to make a contribution to his team.
Low tackle below the knee.
Yeah, here we see it again now. Picks up the ball. Yeah, he might have been a shade unlucky, the Melbourne player. I thought he just happened to get his feet tangled up there, but nevertheless, Johnny Law made the most of his opportunity to kick his 7th goal in league football.
He's amassing them slowly. If he plays 400 games, Bernie, he just might get near the 20. So North Melbourne back in front. The lead's changed 4 times in this quarter. Spalding got the hand pass out. Now there's a whistle for an infringement away from the ball. Now play on because it was a Melbourne free kick. An advantage is invoked, and Wilson runs at goal, but Ackley is in the way and must have felt relief as he wrapped his hands around that one, because he was very vulnerable. Gets his 3rd kick, and Mossop marks it at half-back.
Yeah, the first time that Wilson's really tried to do too much, which is sometimes he's prone to do. Ball free kick against Melbourne, I think, against Giles. And David Dwyer, very stylish footballer, comes from a very stylish background from his famous father, Laurie Dwyer. Out wide, Fairley, great mark. He was over the line, and he's paid it. I'm surprised he really got the benefit of that one, but fairly well done against Campbell. Downfield in it, Hughes goes up. In front was Turner. Nice roving there by McRae. Hand pass comes across towards Stretch. Now it's Grinter. Grinter sends downfield. Jostling there was Healy. Brilliant football, and his teammate got in the road, and North get out of trouble through Crocker. On to Stevenson. Downfield it goes.
Race for the ball now. Allison versus Johnson. Stevenson in support. Demetriou doing some heavy work in this quarter. Hughes first there. Oh, an awkwardly bouncing one. But he did very well off the ground. Now it's out. Took a long time to go out. And Danny Hughes, with that clever kick off the ground, gained about 35 metres. Last year, Melbourne annihilated North Melbourne in round 21 and put them out of finals calculations. And North, no doubt, anxious to erase the memory of that black day in August last year. Larkin in there pitching as he always does. Schimmelbusch, Demetriou. This is nice. McRae now to Cracker. Intercepted though, well by Connolly. Stretch, under pressure. Law the hard tackler. And a ball up towards North Melbourne's forward pocket. And the Roos in time on, just raising the intensity a little once again.
There's John Kennedy talking to John Dugdale. Dugdale, one of the superstars of the North Melbourne era. In come the rucks again. Danny Hughes over the top, straight to Phil Cracker, has been very quiet. On it goes to Dwyer. Dwyer down towards the pocket. A punch over the top there by McRae. Back it comes to Giles. Giles then hooks it downfield and Wilson manoeuvres beautifully. Let him take it. Wilson dodges, beats the paddock full, and he's played brilliantly. Look at the pass. Absolutely brilliant. Out wide it goes, and it's kicked long downfield by Bailey. Behind the pack it's Williams, and Williams kicks a goal. Oh, they just squeezed out of it, but David Williams, good opportunistic football, and he left-footed it through, and Melbourne needed that goal, and now there's 1 point the difference again with Melbourne in front.
And look who started that move again, Brian Wilson. He's had a great night tonight. He's easily the best man on the ground as far as I'm concerned. Here it is, maybe a little bit lucky that it's gone over the top. Two North Melbourne players up, and the easy goal to Williams waiting down.
Read it well as he saw them all going up and thought that it might come to the back. Well into time on. It'll be a short quarter with only 4 goals kicked. Seconds left. The Demons mounting one last shot at the sticks as Viney puts them into attack. Throw in. Half forward flank. About 50 metres from Melbourne's goal. And a goal before the bell would be more than handy. Mossop against Spalding. Larkin content to see it over. And North now with the ball in their defensive half, content to play for time, and there's the bell. So at half-time, virtually nothing in it. At quarter-time, it was North Melbourne by a point, and at half-time, it's Melbourne by the barest margin. The only man to have kicked more than 1 goal in the match is David Williams for Melbourne with 2. For the Demons, Flower, Johnson and Viney have singles. And for North, all single goal kickers, Holt, Mossop, Fairley, Phil Cracker and Law. And a quick comment on a very even first half from Bernie Quinlan.
Yes, it's been a great contest up until this stage. It's neither side can gain any ascendancy, and it's goal for goal and point for point. The only player really, the player that's giving Melbourne a lot of drive is Wilson in the middle. Flower's done a great job up on the forward line, but North Melbourne look a completely different proposition from what they looked last week, and they're not going to be any easy pushover this week. But as far as Melbourne goes, I think if they can get the running game going, they're still hanging in there. It's Wilson really driving them forward all the time, and I think that go on.
They're locked.
Okay, so at half-time, it's North Melbourne by 1 point, 5-11-41 to North Melbourne 5-10-40. Only got eyes for the boys in blue and white, battling for their first points of the year as the second half gets underway. Melbourne from left to right. And what a clever kick from Newport. The first kick of the second half. A backward delivery. Now a chance for Melbourne. Turner, I think it was, with the long kick to full forward. Ackley, well brought down. And a ball up, surely the end result of this. Umpire Walsh calling for it. And Flower looks as though he might have hurt a finger. Coming away wringing his hand.
Yes, he had that hand bandaged up halfway through the first quarter too, so Robert Flower in the wars a bit. Just played a lovely game once again. Poetry in motion, Mr. Flower. Mossop nicely played, picked up there by Allison. Allison out to Turner. Turner ran into trouble, couldn't hold it first bite at the cherry. Bailey hooks it out wide. Down it comes to where there's opportunity now for Grinter. He's got 3-1 against him. He bowls one over, but that's not enough. Here comes Larkin. Took it from Holt. Larkin then sends it out locking for Cracker. Stretch with him all the way. Cracker brilliant. Turns and twists and has a shot for goal. And Phil Cracker misses. That doesn't often happen. He was under pressure, but he usually gets it. That's his third kick, and I think he's had 2 hand passes.
I don't think I've ever seen him miss a shot like that. Hughes kicks long to the members' side, and well placed for Turner on the half-back flank. Delivers for Wilson. Well pressured by Demetrio, who I thought might have kicked it out of bounds on the full. But not so, says the boundary umpire, so a throw in on the wing.
Mossop very cleverly to Larkin. Larkin is a beautiful hand pass to Demetrio. Then it's short downfield from Allison, and what a good kick it was from Dwyer, and what a good kick it was. And John Holt playing pretty nicely onto his right foot, which is not his good one, and that was clear proof of it. A poor kick. Brilliant football, Arceri again. Underneath it, the opportunity there was for Danny Hughes out to Giles. Giles hotly pursued by Law. Neither of these very quick, but both very tough. And a North Melbourne player going off the ground as Giles and Law buffeted over the line.
I think it's McRae who just came on late in the first half and hasn't spent long in the field of battle. So bad luck for Dean McRae. His play goes on. Stoppeth for no man as Giles gains a few metres for Melbourne. Well played by Viney. Now Batterston, very quiet, but doing it well. Clever centering kick. And well marked by Bailey. 35 metres out as McRae's knee gets a good look at from the doctor and the camera. And in this age of knee injuries, let's hope it's not too serious. Glad it's him and not me. First senior game, he's played about 10 minutes, and it looks as though he might be out of it for the night. Good kick from Bailey. Well, after it took about 12 minutes for a goal in the second quarter, Melbourne have kicked one in 3.5 in the third. Brett Bailey, the man who delivered the goods, and the Demons lead by 1 straight kick.
And that goal came about after good play by Batterston. He paddled the ball down the wing over on the outer side there and kept it in front of him and battled on really well to get the ball centred across to Bailey, who took a good mark.
Yes, it was Bailey also who got the ball down the time that Robbie Flower took that sensational soaring mark and goal from it. So he's had a few moments that he'll remember tonight with a vengeance. Johnson hasn't had many for him. Picked up by Allison. Allison short passes out wide and a lovely mark taken by Fairley, who took 5 marks in the second term. Been very impressive. His opponent is Tony Campbell. Fairley within range. Oh, what a splendid kick. What a beautiful kick. And the scoreboard's level once again. 47 points each. 6 goals, 11 each. Ian Fairley.
Magnificent kick there by Fairley. He's really provided North Melbourne with a focal point up on the forward line. Last week they had really had no one to kick to on the forward line, and he's made all the difference this week.
Second.
That was a beauty. Testing kick with the slippery ball, but perhaps they've opened up with a new one after half-time, and that might be why the players are kicking a bit better. So early goals to each team inside 5 minutes. Turn of the knock. Mossop might get a free as he hovered over the ball. Now it's another ball up. The men in white have certainly copped the wrath of the crowd on a few occasions, and I think could be accused of some inconsistency. Holt onto the right boot, which perhaps he feels happier about using after that fine goal in the second quarter. But Conley, another left footer. Oh, courageous attempt by Spalding. Williams the hand pass. Now a great chance. Dean offline. Missed everything.
Well, he's in an extraordinary hurry when he didn't need to hurry. He did it beautifully, then kicked as if he was being pursued, which he wasn't really, and wasted a lovely opportunity when he'd played so well to get it. Mossop hits it over to Steele. Steele's been pretty quiet. Downfield it goes, where Spargo in front of Giles. Both over the line. Spargo recovers, kicks it along the ground. Downfield it goes, but it's over the line, out of bounds, with North in attack on the outer half-forward flank.
Peter Giles still seems to be favouring that knee that he had injured a bit to me, Doug.
Yes, I think he might be, Bernie, yeah.
Dead level. Fairley against Spalding, who won. Spargo dispossessed. Likewise, Newport. Much ado about nothing over there, but it's a contest. Holt. Law. Hughes takes it away from him. I suppose if you've kicked 7 goals in 160-odd games, it's a bit too much to expect that you might pick up 2 in half an hour or so.
Well, it's a most unlikely position for John Law because of everybody in the league. I think he's the one who most likes the ball in front of him, where he can bullock and go with that broad chest straight at it. But he's on the forward line, to the surprise of everybody, including himself. There he is, punching down. Here he comes, punched away from him nicely. Right on the boundary line is Arceri, and can handle the ball with ease and with perfection. Slips out of his grasp, out of bounds, still on the half-forward flank.
It's Law for North Melbourne. Turner, number 41 for the Demons. Dwyer, normally very well balanced, and he was then as he hooked it back cleverly. Stretch, who's done well on Phil Cracker. Newport. And a ball up. Still half-forward flank for North Melbourne. And it's getting harder and harder for the teams to get the breakaway going.
Yes, it's been very much a man-to-man contest all night, and it's been a good one too. Well played, Turner. Arceri roving close to the pack, as this courageous little man always does, but he couldn't take it. Be another throw in. Turner will do battle with Mossop. The scoreboard level, 47 points each. Good leap there by Danny Hughes. Newport almost got it. They cannot clear this untidy pack. The umpires will have to find a free kick. No, eventually it might have been Grinter, I think, downfield. Underneath it, the chances there for Dean, but the ball beats him out of bounds, and it'll be thrown in this time on Melbourne's outer half-forward flank.
In fact, almost true wing position still, as that ball travelled on after crossing the line, but brought back to the point where it crossed. Turner did well. Steele back to half forward for North. Law in the thick of it. Hughes just beats the tackle. Beyond the centre. Johnson now, the racehorse. Well pressured. North there in numbers, but a high tackle on Alan Johnson. Ironical cheer from the Melbourne supporters, who say at last. It was just there, I suppose, but again, an example of the contrast between this week and last. Bit of tiggy touchwood about it.
Yes, that one would have been allowed to go on last week without any doubt, Tim.
Johnson kicking from about right on the 50-metre line, so a testing shot. He's missed it. Got the distance well. But are behind, and the Demons lead by that margin, 48-47.
Yes, I think at half-time the free kicks was 17-7 in favour of North Melbourne. Ackley kicks out wide, looking for Jamie Stevenson, who got up very high. Wilson in the centre of everything as usual. There he is, number 7. He's been Melbourne's best player. Wonderful performance in the centre. Andy Demetrio has had the job of shadowing him later in the game and has done it fairly well in the first 10 minutes of this third term. Waiting now for the bounce. Leap by Campbell, beaten by Mossop. Taken by Bailey. Bailey's kick covers no distance. A good leap there by Campbell. Stevenson comes through and will take a free kick. No, he won't. Matty Larkin fights for it. Gets it to about 10 metres downfield. Hand pass is a bad one, straight to Demetriou. Picked up by Crocker. Crocker, a very good player, and here's another beauty in Arceri. Arceri dodges past Connolly. Not a good hand pass. Warren Dean with it. Left foot's it across and it's danger. Great leap by Steele. Steele quickly across to Dwyer. Dwyer downfield is a good one to Fairley. And Fairley is playing well at centre-half forward. He's right on the 50-metre mark.
Kicks from outside 50 and doesn't make the distance. And Hughes with a big ham-like fist. Crash over the line. Jeff Southby-like. And the great Carlton fullback's heyday. Under the lights, Melbourne by 1 point. At the 11-minute mark of the third quarter. Tremendous struggle against North. Schimmelbusch, left foot snap, is a beauty. And the Roos are back in front. Courtesy of their great captain in his 298th game. Just a fortnight away from that great landmark. And he hasn't kicked many better goals than that one. Somehow getting it onto the left boot from the throw-in.
Yes, magic here. Schimmelbusch, really, he was surrounded by players. He had only a split second to get it onto his boot, and gee, he made the most of that one.
5 points the difference. North in front, Turner up high, taken by Steele. Northerners into attack once again. Campbell in front of his opponent, and down it goes from Arsieri. Over the back it comes, and a chance now for Melbourne. Well played stretch, who's been brilliant. Out it goes to Wilson. He's been another great one for Melbourne. Wilson boots the Demons into attack looking for Spalding. It's Campbell down at centre-half forward now. Picked up there by Ackley. Melbourne fans scream for a free kick. And the mark is taken there for the Demons by Bailey, by Newport. Down it goes. Claimed there by Dean, not allowed. And North Melbourne pick it up and could have been a free. Hit it out wide, and here's Arsieri. Here's Dwyer again.
Now Schimmelbusch again, through the middle of the ground. To the lead from Cracker. Stretch wearing him like a glove. And Hughes, a man not to be meddled with. Stretch, good work by the Melbourne defence. Giles to the centre line. Dwyer beats Viney. Not a good hand pass. Steele, but straight into the lap of Turner at half-back for the D's.
Dwyer and Allison playing very well in the wing positions. Here's that tough little man, Bailey. Now he sends it long down towards centre-half forward. A big leap there by Flower. Unsuccessful. Opportunity for Stevenson, out to Larkin. On it goes to Ackley. Good smother. Larkin again. He'll be gathered in by Johnson. Johnson very clever to Batterston. He's in lots and lots of trouble. Kicks it North Melbourne's way. An opportunity for Bailey again. Arsieri beaten by Connolly, but the free kick is to Arsieri.
And again the Melbourne supporters erupt with fury. 17 possessions to Mark Arsieri, and this is a good one. Finding Spargo from half forward. Good kick to Law. Holt, big chance. Yes! Second goal, John Holt. And North Melbourne with 2 in 2 minutes. Gain an 11-point break. Halfway through the third term, and in a low-scoring game, a very handy one.
Yes, on a night that's not really made for forwards. The fog has come down and the mist, and it's made it very difficult for forwards to handle the ball. And those 2 quick goals from North Melbourne are going to make it very difficult for Melbourne to come back into the game, because really their forward line is pretty well non-existent at the moment.
Yes, they've been forced to switch centre-half forward and centre-half back. Both have been beaten. Spalding started off at centre-half forward. He was beaten. At centre-half back, Campbell was beaten. And they've switched them around. Hasn't made any difference up to date. In comes Turner. Ted Turner doing a big job out towards Wilson. Wilson, a hand pass. Picked up by Arsieri again, and downfield. There goes Fairley. Punched away by Hughes. Spalding on the back line now has got the opportunity onto his left foot. Sends it down towards wing position. John Mossop misses what he should have taken. Chance or Melbourne swamped. And the free kick will go to the Demons this time. And it'll be taken by Campbell.
Tony Campbell, who has a namesake, who's a champion hurdler from the United States, puts it out of bounds. And the Demons, after getting over the first hurdle of the season, just running into a bit of trouble in the middle stages of this third quarter, and could be about to trip over one. Campbell there to contest with Mossop, who wins well, as he has done at most of those contests. Demetriou, Schimmelbusch, and North starting to put it together. Good penetrating kick. Hurried kick from Hughes is out on the full. And North, by dint of sustained pressure and a slight edge in class, it would seem, in this third quarter, work it to half forward. Law, who's done well, he's a real contester. Demetriou, long, cracker. Bailey, a lot of pressure, cracker. Touch ball and hit the post and bounce back into the field of play. So it's a behind, and North by 2 clear goals. The crowd really getting its money's worth.
Stephen Stretch has kept Cracker out of the game, and this is a young man who's made a most impressive appearance. Allison, whose father was a North champion, has played brilliantly against Johnston. Up goes Law, looking good. Picked up by Holmes. Matty Larkin missed it, or did he get it? He got it. And North are swarming over the Demons, and Matthew Larkin, their best and fairest of a couple of years ago, looked really good then.
Yes, here we see it again. Good punch away by Hughes, but rode very well by North Melbourne. Over to Larkin. No Melbourne player anywhere near him, and pops it through for an easy goal.
So a 3-goal break to the Kangaroos, the biggest lead in the match, and I suspect one very hard to peg back. And everything going right for them at the moment, as Mossop takes the free out of the centre. And the Kangas bound forward once more. 9th possession to Mossop. Dwyer. Heap of pressure. Grinter. And finally, Batterston to the centre. Stevenson. North growing in confidence. Now the Demons. Big chances. They work it deep into attack, but Ackley, who hasn't had the best of nights, a great sprawling mark.
That was a super mark by David Ackley, and a very good disposal out to David Dwyer. Dwyer's got lots of time now, cleverly across to Stevenson. Stevenson's about centre wing possession, got lots and lots of time, sends it down looking for Fairley. John Law's in the middle of it too. Badly missed that time by Grinter. Chance to redeem themselves through Batterston. Batterston on to Connolly. Connolly hooks it backfield looking for Wilson. Wilson's got 10-1 against him. Kicked off the ground there by Spargo and taken by Bailey. Dangerous hand pass. Very dangerous. Out it goes to Healy. Healy gets them out of trouble. Kick off the ground, goes down towards centre half forward, and North Melbourne swing out of danger through Crocker.
Long left foot kick, a mighty kick with the left boot. Must have travelled, well, it's still going, 65 metres. Holmes. Free kick for a trip. Just outside scoring range, as Holt's in big trouble with 3 trainers around him. Hughes from behind the big spoil. Cracker, no free kick, quite right too, wasn't a push in the back. Law gets boot to ball somehow, but Spalding in the way in the very last line.
And well done, John Law, in a most unaccustomed role, playing about centre half forward. He's shown all the endeavour we know of him, played well. Out to Newport. 15 metres against Captain Schimmelbusch. Newport doesn't take advantage of it, kicks to Wilson brilliantly. Oh, Wilson, a shocking miss, but recovers well. And Wilson turns, look out, you're in trouble. Out it goes to Viney. Viney then downfield, and well trapped. Beautifully trapped there by Smith. And Smith kicks it out towards the half forward line of Melbourne, and it goes over the line, out of bounds. Lovely ball control. Yates pursues it over the line. 20
minutes gone in the quarter. Big one for North, 4 goals to 1 to set up what could be the match-winning break. Beetle Bailey gets a free for being held when not in possession. Looks a bit tired as he hurries back to get in position to kick. And a tired-looking kick into half forward. Beat everybody. Johnson, scoring chance. Could be a goal. Was it touched? Yes, it was. The margin 17 points.
And well done, Ackley. Robert Flower tried desperately to shepherd him out of it, and Ackley showed his great experience and just touched it before it went through. Ackley sent it wide looking for Mossop. Turner with him. Mossop got there and missed what he might have taken. Allison once again, back to Mossop is clever. Out wide to Steele. Steele then sends a bullet one down to Fairley. And Fairley's new opponent is Spalding. That's Fairley's ninth mark. He kicks it back looking for Dwyer and finds him. Free kick to Dwyer. The wingers have been brilliant, Dwyer and Allison. They've had a big influence on the game, particularly in this third term with Demetrio doing well in the centre. Down it goes Field. And Phil Cracker crying for a free kick there. Play goes on. Danny Hughes kicks off the ground, but it's all North Melbourne. And then it stacks on the mill, and it'll be bounced in the danger zone with North in attack.
John Holt in that action, so despite the fact that he was being attended to by 3 trainers, he's okay. And North looking okay too. 21.5 minutes into the quarter. They're the best part of 3 goals in front. Turner's hand pass to Connolly. Well dispossessed. Healy finding the line with that little kick off the ground. 50 metres out, a little bit more from North's goal.
This is a pretty handy lead at the moment. Spalding down, our series in the centre of everything. Connolly, his opponent, fights desperately. Umpire's whistle indicates yet another bounce. It's North's half-forward flank, right on the 50-metre line. Fairley does the rucking, over the back it goes. Healy fights for it, gets his left foot to it, doesn't cover any distance. Danny Hughes in front, traps it and takes it over the line out of bounds. But the Demons' defence is under tremendous pressure. A constant barrage from a very good-looking North Melbourne side in the third quarter.
John Northey, coach at 2 clubs, Sydney Swans for a season, and now in his second year with Melbourne. Spalding, solid bump from Larkin on Connolly. Very fair, just right for the moment. And North Melbourne throwing everything at Melbourne in this quarter and getting results too. And they have the game in their grasp. Still time though. There's Larkin again, and cleverly done. Arsieri. Good tackle from Bailey. Just about a free kick, but no. North in numbers. Phil Cracker, must be a goal. Kicked by Schimmelbusch. The skipper's second for the quarter. 23-point lead to North Melbourne, who really have teamed well in this third term. And the team spirit shown then by Phil Cracker, who was prepared to give away a certain goal to his captain.
Yes, and haven't they applied a lot of pressure this quarter, North Melbourne, to the Melbourne side? They've really made them look second-rate, and they appear to be very rattled side, Melbourne, at this stage.
He could have put his foot over the line there, Bernie, almost, couldn't he? He was that close.
Yes, it was very close, Doug, but he just squeezed it in.
Well done by Phil Cracker. Incidentally, Brian Wilson, Melbourne's best player in the centre, has gone to full forward. I guess he must be suffering through injury. Here's a chance now as Bailey tries to battle it through. Matthew Larkin takes him on and does it well. Slips at the crucial stage. Is swallowed by a Melbourne tackle. Held it too long, and the free kick is going to go to the Demons about the centre half forward line. And I repeat, Melbourne's 2 most talented players, Flower and Wilson, are on the forward line. Here comes Todd Viney. Short pass to Bailey. Bailey didn't look like it. And very weary looking Bailey, still fighting for the ball, lying flat on his back, and it will be bounced at centre half back for North Melbourne in Melbourne's attacking zone.
5 goals to 1 in North Melbourne's favour. They've kicked 5-2 to 1-2 in this third quarter. Match-winning stuff, and Mossop dominating the ruck. But Greg Healy, the Shark, good snap. Just curled too far when Melbourne needs everything going for it. And luck not quite with the Demons then.
Ackerley taps it to himself, gains 10 to 15 metres, then a very long kick out towards centre wing. Chance for Holmes, who's been busy. Taken away by Williams. Grinter in trouble, but gets put to ball. Through Schimmelbusch it goes. Brian Wilson fights for it. Down to the ground goes he. Demetriou picks it up, and they're going down like 9 pins here, and eventually it's over the line. It's Steele. No, it's not over the line, and there's a Melbourne player in real trouble.
It's Wilson. He really copped it. Went down holding his head. I thought initially perhaps he was just acting a little, but it looks as though it might be blood coming from the nose.
Yes, he copped a really solid hip and shoulder. And he copped it while he had his head down over the ball.
Darren Steele kicks downfield. Holmes like lightning across towards Dwyer. Dwyer centre wing is absolutely brilliant to Schimmelbusch. And Schimmelbusch downfield. That's lovely football to Law. Not allowed. Picked up by Grinter.
Bad miss by Law. Chest mark. Newport brought down. Ferocious North in this quarter. And a ball up now. North's attacking side of the wing as Wilson surrounded by trainers, doctor.
Calling for the stretcher.
Brett Lovett preparing to come on. And that really is unfortunate because he dominated the first half of the match. The best player out there. He's had 20 possessions, although he has faded in this term. And now the umpire's holding up play for the stretcher to be brought onto the field. So it obviously was a nasty one.
What an unlucky career Brian Wilson's had. It's an extraordinary career. He was sacked by Footscray by the time he was 18, then sent off by North Melbourne by the time he was 20. Pops up with a Brownlow medal, but he's just had one mass of serious injuries since he joined Melbourne, and some of it, I believe, is that he is just over-courageous and flirts with fate, but it's really bad luck for him. This looks as if it'll be another one maybe around the jaw.
He didn't get a free kick, of course, as you saw. Quite interesting. The umpire perhaps was obscured, but there was an incident, I think, in the first quarter of the match when Wilson, down on the near side of the ground, went down holding his head and waited holding his head as though poleaxed until he heard the umpire's whistle. And after the whistle, signifying that he had a free kick, he was up very smartly and obviously wasn't badly hurt. And I'm just wondering whether the umpire, on seeing what happened this time, thought that Wilson might have been putting on the act for the free kick and thinking that the boy who cried wolf might be doing it again. He didn't pay it.
The other end of the ground, there's just the signs of a little brawl erupting as the players have got nothing to do at this stage, apart from get into trouble.
Need something to keep warm, Doug, with the fog descending.
But it's a long, long wait while Brian Wilson's being put on the stretcher. They're handling him very, very carefully, which indicates that he has got a nasty injury. There's Wayne Schimmelbusch.
The old legs, needing a bit of a massage.
There's Robbie Flower, the captain, obviously, of course, very concerned. He's played so many matches with the brilliant Brian Wilson. And I do hope that Brian Wilson is not seriously hurt because...
Let's have a look at how it happened. A bit further down the ground. Unfortunately, we won't be seeing that, and we won't be seeing any more of Brian Wilson tonight.
He served 3 clubs with great distinction as Brian, and he's received a lot of criticism in his time, but my word, he's won a Brownlow and he's put his name in the record book. There's Newport. Was it Wilson?
Let's have another try. This is Melbourne mounting an attack, and hopefully our tape will stand the pressure this time.
That's Stephen Newport there. We haven't got Wilson in frame, in picture. And Brian is just coming round on the stretcher in front of the members' stand now. And so it will be a very, very long quarter. And again, not a sign of movement. Here's those stocky thighs that have done so much hard work for the Demons. Well, good luck to Brian.
He's better luck next week, I suppose. Sad to say, if he is playing next week, it looks like a dose of concussion for sure, and that probably means at least a week on the sidelines. And what a pity. The 82 Brownlow medalist, who really did look set for such big things this season. The ice being applied to the cheek and jaw on the right side. He is conscious, the eyes open, so that's something, but perhaps a cheekbone. And always a pity to see a player leave the field in that way, let alone a Brownlow medalist. And it couldn't have happened at a worse time for the Demons, who have really seen this one go sliding away in the third quarter after being a point in front at halfway.
Well, the umpires are making sure that the injured player is right off the ground before they bounce, which is the correct thing to do. And a very, very fair player, Brian Wilson, nasty injury.
Okay, well, let's hope it's third time lucky here. Brian Wilson, number 7 for Melbourne. There he is over the ball. Head down. The fumble proved very, very costly. And there's the contact. Ross Smith, quite fairly, really, although warranting a free kick because it was a high tackle. And those can be really nasty. The umpire not paying a free kick, as we saw, and that must go down now with the benefit of hindsight as a glaring umpiring error. Ball on half forward for Melbourne. Dwyer, but it's pretty hard to pick up. It's like a cake of soap at the moment. Mossop, and parked under it is Bailey. Pushed, free kick, just forward of the wing.
A wild leap into Bailey's back that time. Bailey, a tough and courageous player, is looking very tired a few moments ago. Batterston was in the hands of the trainers just a few seconds ago. Larkin, the clever one, out to Steele. His hand passing is flawless. Steele kicks across towards the boundary line, was flattened after he kicked the ball, and the free kick will be paid to North Melbourne, and it's Spargo going back to take it. Spargo down towards the half-forward line. A very big leak by Spalding. Hughes with the ball into the centre of the ground. Chance now for Newport. Newport long in the Flower direction. Flower chooses to punch it. Williams can't reach it. Well played, Mossop. There goes the siren. And at three-quarter time, North Melbourne finish a wonderful quarter. They're leading 10-12-72 to Melbourne 6-14-50.
Welcome back for the last quarter, about to get underway, and North Melbourne carrying 22-point lead into the final term, and Melbourne starting the quarter without Brian Wilson, who we saw carried off in the third term, and Captain Flower, who's sitting on the bench. So the chip's really down for the Demons, but they're first into attack. Stretch, who has played 3 quarters in defence. Demetriou, good player for North Melbourne. Dwyer, who's picked up as this match has worn on. Arsiri, Schimmelbusch beautifully. Kicked 2 goals and had a good night. Law, now Giles. High kick covering little distance. Good attempt by Larkin, who's done a lot of heavy work. And finally a ball up on North's half-forward flank.
Yes, I think Larkin would have been the chief handballer for the night. This is his 19th possession. Pardon me. 23 kicks to 12 in North Melbourne's favour at this stage of the game.
11 hand passes.
Arsiri, who's been a magnificent little rover. I've loved his ball handling skills. He's been so sure and safe and very quick, of course. And it's around the packs that they've shown all the zest in the world. He's also had 19 free kicks, 19 possessions. In come the big fellows once again. Behind is Turner. Over to Newport. Newport down towards centre wing position. Running with the flight of the ball is Bailey. Hits it down and then it runs away from him. Picked up by Ackley, having a good second half. Opportunity for the Demons now. Lost it, and they fall on the ball. Some tired and weary players, and there'll be yet another bounce.
Melbourne needing to peg back 4 goals to win it. Could be done. North Melbourne did it in the previous quarter, but it'll really take some doing. This is Viney, one of the interstate recruits from Sturt in South Australia. Grinter, rough, tough Rod Grinter. Newport. But North really applying good pressure. Oh, good leap and great mark. Greg Healy, a beauty.
And he fell awkwardly and hurt himself, did Melbourne's best and fairest of last year. Downfield it goes, past Campbell. Chance now for a pick-up by Viney. Runs into a barrage of trouble. Fights on, and again, with the greasy turf and the greasy ball, the difficult handling, an ugly pack develops and there'll be yet another bounce.
Melbourne really needing a lift, and it's hard to see where it would come from without Flower and Wilson there. Mossop manhandled high, it seemed. No free. Holmes held when not in possession. Advantage applied. Now Holt. Been a real dasher and kicked 2 goals. Danger for Melbourne, but Spalding boots them out of trouble. And they're there in numbers, 3 against 1. And they're aided by the bounce. Williams, Connolly, good tackle, Crocker. Forces the errant hand pass. Johnson, he's pressured out of it too. Back to Connolly. To half forward. Turner the scout, but not mobile enough. North Melbourne free kick.
Yes, Turner slipped one in there. By according, mate.
Yes, and John Mossop was the man who did it too. And John Mossop, who was a great player for Geelong, playing well for North tonight. Down towards centre-half forward. The running Holt and Schimmelbusch together, and Schimmelbusch clever on towards Holt. If he can get a good bounce, he'll make the distance. Kicks it high and kicks it straight. A magnificent left foot goal. That's his normal, of course, normal left foot, but 3 goals. And John Holt is certainly one of the best kicks in the league. That was a beauty. And from super boot to super boot, Bernie Quinlan, that was a good one.
Yes, he's a magnificent kick, Holt. I'd say he'd be one of the best kicks in the league at this stage. And that really spells trouble for Melbourne. They haven't got their act together at all after half-time and have really struggled since North Melbourne has started applying the pressure. Here we see Holt again. 45 metres out, and he's kicked it easy, with ease really in the end.
Nice shepherd there from Cracker too to make a certainty of it. Now the Roos go forward through Smith, and they look well in control in the early part of the last quarter. Grinter beyond the wing, crowd screaming for a relayed free kick, not on. Viney. Newport brought down, and away goes Steele, and North in charge. Good delivery from Steele, not quite onto the chest of John Law. The throw in to take place between the flank and North's forward pocket.
Melbourne looking very, very tired, and I don't think they've got anything to replace their 18 with. I would doubt whether Flower would be on the bench if he was completely fit, and certainly Brian Wilson has been very nastily hurt, seriously hurt, I'd think. Here comes Arceri again. Yates dives on top of the ball, but Batterston looks as if he's been labouring under an injury. Picked earlier in the night to Bernie Quinlan that Peter Giles is limping, and maybe that knee still worries him. But they're looking a pretty bedraggled lot of the Demons at the moment. Up comes Turner and Law. Down to Schimmelbusch. Schimmelbusch is tackled by Giles. Nicely picked up by Holt, a very dangerous player. And a safe chest mark is taken right in the last line there by Lovett.
For Johnson, well placed. Good running though for North Melbourne by Allison to be shoulder to shoulder with Johnson. Spargo now is in a bit of trouble. He might too have copped one up above the shoulders.
And in comes Spalding. Spalding downfield. Well taken, Batto. Adriano Battistano downfield towards centre-half forward. A lovely bounce favours Ackley. Ackley then drives it out into open territory. Danny Hughes comes out to meet it. He'll need a lot of assistance as Turner comes in. A kick off the ground is clever by Grinter. Nicely picked up by Giles. Giles downfield, all North Melbourne. Ackley, and there's a fight on with Spargo looking very annoyed with Grinter. Downfield it goes, and behind the play it's Hughes. Hughes hits it to the boundary line, and it's out of bounds.
Yes, I don't know what that one was over, but I think it was just a little bit of hard shepherding that the North Melbourne player didn't fancy.
North by 28 points. He would certainly fancy that. Law done well in attack, just by dint of sheer contesting. Fairley, Smith. Melbourne constantly under pressure. Yates, and the pressure from Smith forces the error. Now Hughes gets an easy kick. Out wide. Stevenson the chaser. Dean, well tackled. And once again, the disposal doesn't come easily. Crocker, Stevenson. Still a chance for the Demons. Williams centering, but a very ungainly and poor kick. Now Johnson, he'll do something with it. He does, he kicks it behind. And that's an opportunity that they just couldn't afford to waste. He's kicked 1 goal for.
At the 8-minute mark in the final term, and Melbourne look very, very tired. Their kicking is degenerated to about 30 metres at the maximum for most of them. They're so tired. Outfield it goes. And here we go again. Arceri and Batterston. And John Mossop there, the giant standing beside them. Arceri's got top position. Here comes Batto up. Well, carry on, boys. And here comes the throw-in.
Yes, that was a real bantamweight contest. A couple of the Rovers, Johnson the knock-on, but Ross Smith on the defensive side of the pack. And that ball really starting to slip, slither and slide as the fog comes down and the dew comes up. And the crowd might soon start to head for home, because the Demons look as if they're done like a dinner, approaching the 9-minute mark of the last term. Johnson not making good contact. Dwyer, who's improved as this match has worn on, getting back to the form of 1985 when he really looked an up-and-coming champion. Hughes the spoiler. Yates dropped the ball when he had it under his control, got it back. Connolly goes long. Dean, snapshot is just about there. Just about. And Melbourne cannot hit the bullseye. And they really need it. In fact, they need to hit about 5 of them to grab this match. And it looks highly improbable.
Well, guess who's kicking out? The legal eagle, the centre man, Andrew Demetriou. Kicks out wide, looking for John Mossop. Turner's with him all the way. Punched out by Campbell. Nicely picked up by Steele. Steele then drives it downfield. Great battle here with out to the boundary line. Nice play, Spargo. Peter Giles hotly contesting the whole way, and will be thrown in about centre wing position.
10 minutes gone. Free kick against Mossop. Crude effort in the ruck, and Williams takes it, no one on the mark. To half forward. Crocker's been a good player for North, wearing Keith Gregg's old jumper. What a tribute to this young fellow. Viney to Yates. Now Bailey, number 24. He does look very tired. Dean there as well. And a throw in. North putting Melbourne under pressure with a great deal of ease, and making it virtually impossible for Melbourne to mount effective attacks.
Well, Bailey is tired, but my word, he won't give up. There's tons of courage in that chunky frame. Here he comes again for us, that Connolly. Down it comes to the ground. Oh, that was dangerous.
Wow.
Well, Steele, that was wildest kick. He could have kicked Healy's head off that time. Out wide it goes towards Williams. Williams steadies with his left foot to an open goal, but the open goal is right through. Well done, that's his third. And David Williams, in a team that's struggled and has only kicked 7 of them, it's not a bad performance.
Yeah, it's not a bad performance by Williams. He's struggled with lack of opportunities in the third quarter, but it's been very difficult for forwards tonight with a greasy ball and greasy conditions. And North Melbourne have applied a lot of pressure to the Melbourne forward line, and it's a good left foot kick from Williams for another goal.
I guess you forwards think it should be played indoors when the dew comes up onto the turf, Bernie. Make it a bit fairer.
Would have been ideal conditions this afternoon, Tim. I don't think it's too good for the forwards this night football.
Another chance for Holt from 50 metres, but he sprayed this one out on the full. And Lovett it is to take the free kick in the last line for the Demons. They're only 20 points down. In the last 5 minutes, they've looked a little better. At least they've had plenty of the ball. And here they go again. Stretch overrunning it, but Giles in support. And they've got the numbers again. Fumble from Newport was costly. Dwyer dispossessed. Stretch, well done. Got himself out of trouble beautifully. Good delivery. Bailey in trouble. Williams again, who's kicked 3 of Melbourne's 7 goals. Who's scouting at the back? Ackley. Crocker showed confidence. Steele out wide, but it's all Melbourne again, and the crowd just starting to sense a Melbourne revival. They're coming to life when it looked highly improbable, but now the Demons really starting to get something going. And a throw-in coming up on their half-forward flank, but there's excitement in the Melbourne camp as the Demons are lifting.
What a bad kick by Yates. Williams had tons and tons of space, and Yates kicked it too far wide. Out of bounds it went. Here's an opportunity for North through Holmes. Holmes out wide, and the umpire's whistle is blown, and the free kick is going to go to North Melbourne. And it is Holmes again. That ball is so slippery that even when the ball's just thrown back to them, they're having trouble catching it. Holmes on the half-back flank. And Melbourne showing plenty of spirit in these dying moments of the dying. Oh, good mark. Fairley's been the best mark on the ground. That's his 11th, and kicks it down towards centre half forward. Over the back it goes. Giles is too tired. Gets it out to Stretch, who's been one of Melbourne's best. He's kept Phil Cracker out of the game and will take a free kick.
Well, if you're starting to yawn, I wouldn't go to bed yet. The Demons aren't about to concede defeat. Schimmelbusch using the body, parking it over the ball. Crocker. Spargo now. Pressure, though, from Yates. Fresh man on the ground and helping provide the lift for Melbourne. Willing stuff.
Turner's underneath most of that, and Ted's handed a few out tonight.
And a ball up, I think, the end result between the centre line and North Melbourne's half-forward line.
Best if I gave him his right name of Steve, I guess. Steve Turner's done a lot of heavy work for the Demons.
Maybe they call him Ted after that great entrepreneur.
The wealthy man from the America's Cup of Old. In come the rucks again, punched down by Demetrio. Fighting for it hard there was Grinter. Kicks it down further, then lost the run of it. Off the ground it goes Melbourne's way, but not very far. Williams fights like anything. In trouble, Grinter kicks it straight to the back of Demetrio. Ugly football, Holt fighting for it. Dwyer's caught with it. It's very ugly scramble, and eventually Grinter gets it a few yards downfield, but the umpire's blowing the whistle, unfortunately, and back it goes to be bounced.
Well, I wouldn't blame the Demons for kicking up a bit of a stink about that, because really, that was premature. They tackled and worked the ball off their North Melbourne opponents, and just as they got it clear, the whistle went, and that must be heartbreaking. Here's Arceri, and a chance for North Melbourne. Larkin. But a bit of poetic justice as he boots it straight out on the full for Melbourne to get off the hook. 15.5 minutes gone. 78 plays 58. Melbourne needing 4 goals to win it in half a quarter. It could be done, and they're still in there pitching as hard as they can. Long kick from Hughes. Flowers back into the fray to try and give them that final lift. But this time the ball up is warranted. Just forward of the centre line for North.
And I'm very pleased to see Flower on the ball. I think it's suicide to put him up forward as a permanent forward pocket. Back in the wide open spaces is how he made his name with his almost perfect football. Newport's in awful sorts of trouble to pick it up. Eventually it's Campbell. Campbell out wide. In front, Viney could have almost been paid that one. Picked up and taken away from him. And coming in strongly is Holmes. Tackled by Conley and kicks it wisely off the ground. Chance now for Yates. Back it goes and taken by Stretch. Stretch out wide looking for Batterston. Batterston will take the chest mark in front of Holmes.
Quickly to Conley. Not on his preferred kicking boot, but does it well. Turner. Viney. Oh, if it had just got past Allison, Flower was waiting to swoop. But young Allison, in his maiden appearance for North Melbourne, has acquitted himself very well. And the match looks like going to form with North still 20-point leaders.
Nice lead by Mossop, the only one there. Been a good ruckman. Picked up by Healy. Healy lost it then. Mossop again. Mossop into open territory down the centre of the ground. Waiting for it to stretch, but it bounces awkwardly for him. Holt's gone, strong, aggressive play. The long left footer then kicks it down towards the pocket. Up goes Yates, off his hands. Picked up nicely by Law. Law to Cracker. Cracker goes. John Law, well done. Phil Cracker, number 2 goal. But Law has shown what good, honest endeavour can do on the forward line as the back man been, and through his sheer persistence and courage, he's always given them something to kick to. Here comes Holt burning Quinlan.
Yes, and that's pretty much the story of the game now, Doug. Melbourne struggled like anything to get the ball down to their forward line. and they look like they might have a chance to kick a goal. All of a sudden, North Melbourne get it down to their forward line, over to Johnny Law. Lovely pass on the left foot into Cracker. And easy as you like, another goal to North Melbourne.
And another free kick and forward move. Crocker takes it this time. Dwyer. Schimmelbusch running into space. 55 metres from goal. Cracker waits at the back for the slippery one, but his opponent, Lovett, takes it comfortably on his chest and spies 4 dark blue and red jumpers out there. The Demons, of course, in the old-style Melbourne jumper this year. Bailey up to the wing. Allison smothering well. Demetriou. Ball up. And Doug Hayward, I don't suppose you like to look at the scoreboard, but those navy blue and red jumpers must warm your heart and bring back some memories.
Hasn't helped my spirits much at this stage, Tim, but they did well last week, and there's a long way to go yet. As Mossop playing a gallant game there, gets it down further. A big leap there by Crocker. Here's a chance for Campbell. Hand pass goes across, taken there by Williams, well down the centre-half back zone. From behind, a sensational leap by Allison, and what a wonderful debut it's been. He really leaped that time. Down it goes, and Hughes thumps the ball down, picked up by Demetriou, lost, tries to regain possession, lying on the ground. Out comes Stretch. He loses the greasy ball. Look out, here comes Asiri. Free kick. Well, was he in possession? Melbourne are claiming he was, but he wasn't, says the umpire, and Mark Asiri will take the free kick. But a very, very impressive debut by that young man who took that magnificent soaring Mark Allison. His father will be very proud. Played over 100 games for North, did that. Downfield it goes, up goes Hughes, and thumps it away once again over the line, out of bounds. But North are in attack. The official attendance, 19,035 people.
Well, that's up 5,000 on last week. So despite the fact that it didn't look too good just before the match, the crowd really did build up at around about right on starting time, perhaps just after. In fact, I think the attendance might have doubled between about 7:15 and 7:45. 20 minutes gone in the last quarter, and North Melbourne home for all money by 26 points. And while 5 or 6 minutes ago it looked as though Melbourne might have mounted the final charge, impossible now in these slippery conditions. And it's going to be 1 win and 1 loss for each of these clubs after 2 rounds of competition. Larkin. Kick sliding off the boot, but Dwyer at the second attempt has marked well within range, and 25 metres out, but the angle makes this a testing kick. 24 possessions to David Dwyer. I think probably a bigger proportion in the second half. Good looking kick. He does everything very well. Polished footballer. North Melbourne's 13th goal. And they lead by a very big margin now, 32 points. After trailing by a point at half-time, since the long break, they've kicked 8 goals to Melbourne's 1.
Dwyer and teammate Allison have been 2 winning wingsters, and Allison was on Johnson, one of Melbourne's very best players over the last 3 or 4 years. A past best and fairest winner for the Demons, and it's been an impressive debut by him at a brilliant display. 17 possessions by Allison and 24 possessions Dwyer, and here they go again through a man who's been a beauty. Asiri right downfield, over the backfield. Cracker turns, twists, beats 2 of them, and left foots it and hooks it and misses. Well, not like you, Philip, but it doesn't matter at this stage of the game because North Melbourne are 13-13 to 7-16.
Cracker's got the hobbles a bit. Rushed back this week with Jim out of the side. And he's been worth having there in the forward pocket, if just for the danger that he poses, and forces one man to concentrate to the utmost to keep him out of it. Healy, not one of his greatest performances tonight. Well done, Allison. Flower waited back. Allison went red hot at the ball. And a most impressive debut, earns applause from the North supporters in the outer.
What a super leap he's got. Mossop's dominated the ruck. Spargo downfield. Campbell punches away from Fairley. Demetriou Oh, Law takes a strong one in front of Hughes, not allowed. Plays on, Yates gets an awkward bounce and kicks it over the line. There was no doubt he meant to kick that one out deliberately, but there wasn't any other option really, and the umpire gives him the benefit of the doubt. Throw in, North Melbourne still in attack.
33-point lead. Totally unexpected after the first half. Siri. Long shot, just off line. And the pint-sized North Melbourne Rover, always a pest for the opposition. He's paid his way as usual tonight with, so far, about 115 minutes of full-blooded effort.
He's a magnificent rover, as Mark Siri. Been hard to get into this side when there's the Cracker brothers around, but he's done it well and deserved every bit of it. Punch from Yates, he lost the flight of the ball completely, picked up by Larkin, who never wastes an opportunity. Demetrio wasted that one. Yates again, hand pass comes out wide, and it's Newport downfield. Here's an opportunity for Williams with the ball's going to beat him over the line. No, it won't. It stays in. He's in lots of trouble, beats them well. Well played, David Williams. Steadies, boots Melbourne into attack down towards their half-forward line. In front was Turner. Bailey took a strong one from Stevenson. Stevenson, being a good player, fights for it. Out, weaving away from the pack is Smith, and a very good kick to Larkin. Larkin misses what he should have taken. Out wide to Demetrios, not his best. Campbell takes him on, kicks off the ground, past Healy. Healy still got the chance and regains possession with his left foot, kicks it down. To
half forward. Pretty hard ball to mark at this stage of the night. And a throw-in coming up. But I must say, Bernie, I think North have handled it and used it very effectively in the slippery conditions in the second half.
They have, because it hasn't been easy at all, Tim. It's been very difficult conditions with the ball the way it is, and yeah, it's been a very impressive performance by North.
Big knock from Mossop. Bailey pulled off it, and fairly, by Schimmelbusch because he was stooped over it. But now it's a Melbourne free kick. Dean, their recruit from Subiaco, who hasn't really had a big night. 7 kicks only from 50 metres. Won't quite make the distance. Behind Melbourne's 17th minor. And the Demons trailing by 33 points, and a disappointing night it is for them after such a promising start to the season.
Here's Crocker. Out wide to Stevenson. Behind is Yates. Yates short, not good. Over the back, Flower. 2-1 against him. Oh, Crocker, you tried to take on everybody. Oh, Robbie Flower holding that sore hand once again. And he says it doesn't, not often that Flower looks disappointed and doesn't agree with the umpire, but he certainly doesn't this time. And at three-quarter time, North Melbourne had 23 free kicks to 12, so the Demons something to complain about. Well played, Smith. On it goes downfield.
Steele to the wing, but well taken by Grinter. Showing nice sticky fingers there. A couple of 15-metre penalties against Holt. And Grinter now can kick from about 60 metres out. In fact, it drops about 25 metres short. Mossop doing the groundwork. Crocker out on the full, and the Demons will get a scoring chance out of this. Newport to take the free, but kicking from outside 50 metres, I doubt that he can do it. In fact, he centres and finds Spalding still 55 metres from goal, and still, I would think, too far.
Yes, certainly with this ball, it'll be far too far. Spalding, one of the interstaters, and Steve Turner goes up high. Stretch fighting for it. Well played, Ackley, having a wonderful second half. Underneath it, Grinter and Harris. Grinter takes a beauty. He loves to go for the fly, and that really was an excellent mark, because he was up against another one who loves to jump high in the person of Darren Harris. But Grinter took a good one. Drives it out wide, looking for Dean. Over the back it goes. Nice play, Yates. Runs into all sorts of trouble. Law tackles him, and Yates held it too long. Or was it Stevenson tackled him, and Stevenson takes the free kick.
Good workhorse in defence for North tonight. Rich is the wing. Giles. Poor kick. He really hasn't had a great night tonight. That time he fumbled at the first attempt, still had time to go back to it, and yet still kicked very poorly. And that really wasn't up to scratch skill-wise. Dimitri, who takes the free to half forward. Harris, the leaper. As Giles trying to make up for that error, and this time he gets a reasonable kick away. Spalding. Hughes up the ground, but there it is. The final siren. And North Melbourne's first victory for the season in very convincing fashion over Melbourne under the lights at the MCG by 33 points, 13-14 to 7-17. The goal kickers for the winners, Holt 3, 2 each to Fairley, Cracker and Schimmelbusch, with singles to Mossop, Dwyer, Larkin and Law. And for Melbourne, Williams got 3, singles to Flower, Johnson, Viney and Bailey. And Wayne Schimmelbusch leads a pretty happy North Melbourne lineup, which Bernie Quinlan has atoned with a contrasting performance to last week's fairly faint-hearted effort, I think, against the Bears.
Yeah, well, I was just thinking, Tim, what a funny old game football is. Last week you wouldn't have given 2 bob for North Melbourne. Their performance was a real second-rate one against the Bears, and yet tonight they've come out and really turned the tables around. John Kennedy's worked wonders with the side throughout the week, and they've come out with a completely different attitude and completely swamped Melbourne in the second half.
Word you'd be tired after tonight's game, Bernie, wouldn't you?
Oh yes, it was really a slugging match. That first half especially, when there was a lot of ugly packs developed, and they really couldn't get the free-flowing play going that we know that both sides are capable of doing.
So the final score at the MCG in the first match in round 2, North Melbourne